Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the hope. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kilkelly. In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and in theory, I suppose you might survive the experience. Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain for incipient signs of insanity. Trust me, talk to Gladys Kilkelly. Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time. I call it the holographic shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
Sweet.
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you. Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram. A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath. Science, that's how. The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected.
Yeah, that's true.
Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you...
There we go.
You are ready to depart. Please select a destination on your navigation terminal. not be here, Captain. Or will we? Haha. Just a little joke for you.
Huh, so these are my quarters. Let's see here. Wait, I think... Yeah, those are the same thing. Wait, where'd they go? Huh. So if you drop something, it disappears forever. Got it. What the heck? Pick up all the things. Because why not? Doesn't look like there's anything in here for me to interact with. Hmm? Alright, this is the bathroom.
Want to be a brand new you? Try out our respecification machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died.
Sorry. Mind your way? Something busted, Captain?
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate. I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. 100 minutes. I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. I think. Traveling the system with you, Captain. Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? A jolt to the system. I have felt that. I do feel that. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavioral patterns. I should have predicted that. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it, tinkering to improve my design. If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was. How can I be of assistance? What part of the colony? Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted outlaw, he built his laboratory into an asteroid. Orbital destinations can be challenging to land on. His more so than most. There is a bounty on his head, one with a markedly high reward amount. Shall I engage the laser weapons system? I shall happily comply with your order, just as soon as we have... The outlaw scientist known as Dr. Phineas V. Even knowing the location, my systems resist my orders to go where I instruct them. Of course. What part of the colony? We're cleared to dock with the groundbreaker if that's your desired destination. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. The Mardettes take their docking laws quite seriously. I can, yes. Let me add that to my list of 1,435,488 tasks I am simultaneously executing in order to run our ship. Order does not compute. Nevertheless, I will endeavor to execute my current and future tasks without lip. The Groundbreaker was Halcyon's original colony ship. It has since been rebuilt service station in the Lagrange point of the system. Freighters often deliver or pick up goods from the Groundbreaker en route to other destinations. The city ship hosts an array of cargo bays, factories, housing sections, and more. Many of Halcyon's companies maintain office spaces with stationed representatives in what is considered a truly neutral territory within the system. I have filed the required docking forms in triplicate, and fees have been paid.
Thank you, Ada.
Of course. What part of the colony? Where in Terra 2? Edgewater is the sparkling county seat of Emerald Vale, or it was when first built. Since then, the town is near the coordinates where Captain Hawthorne died. It would not be unfortunate if something like... Since you diverted power to the deserters, the botanical lab is thriving. However, Emerald Vale's cannery shut down, leading to a total collapse of Edgewater's population. Thank you, Captain. You mean the ones who did not answer my distress call with medical assistance, but instead came to issue my injured captain a parking ticket? I'm sure they are wonderful humans who don't deserve to be wiped out by starvation or a devastating plague. Of course, what part of the... Where in Monarch? Ah, Monarch, the armpit of the Halcyon system. Her last functioning port town is Stellar Bay. Well, that is if you don't count Sublight's Smuggler's Port at Fallbrook. I believe it has something to do with the planet being an uninhabitable wilderness and a lawless land with no corporate presence. You may wish to survey the residents in Stellar Bay for additional data points. It's Sublight run for the purpose of shipping contraband, and before you ask, I don't know the coordinates, so I can't dock us there.
Damn.
How can I... Certainly, Captain. What would you like to... Now playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer's choice.
Catchy.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to label this or another board-certified jingle their favorite song. Two atoms were strolling through Roseway when one of them exclaimed, "I think I lost an electron." "Really?" the other asked. "Are you sure?" "Yes, I'm absolutely positive." As you wish, Captain.
Cute.
Take care.
Alright. My place is back here, I believe. Is this her? Yeah, this is...
Captain Hawthorne used to be more dashing. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Mm-hmm. We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Can we talk? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson. I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans. Thanks, Captain. Did you want to talk about something?
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
Captain, if I could trouble you for a moment of your time. I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone... That's a good question. Fortunately, we're in the perfect place to start. This is where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick... All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all... I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifests to track... Thank you.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a toss-ball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses? He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little backbait brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. I need a drink.
Just arrived? Head over to Customs. Wheeler needs to process you. Just arrived? Head over to Customs. Wheeler needs to process you.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impacted.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's...
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operation. If I had to take a guess as to why, you take the starch out of them, well, you... Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing... Wanda Dorset over in sickbay? Tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. Much appreciated. Is there anything else? Be seeing you.
Mechanicals all over, but they still got us sweating to move. Boxes.
Damn it! Stop that! Nothing. There we go.
Hey, that's illegal. What do you think you're doing? Sorry for the misunderstanding.
That was close.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
I was wondering what they do with their waste. I guess they just chuck it down here. Where's it all go?
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
Something about being in space gives me the creeps.
Ah, the board. Organized, efficient, competent. Well, mostly.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend. Oh, Alex. He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside... Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man. Tell me, how did he die? No! How dreadful. That was always Alex's greatest fear, you know. Devoured by those fiends. Becoming one with their droppings. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? That's... Well, that's just... Oh, I'm sorry. It's personal business. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's fine, really. Now, if you've nothing else... Be my...
Good law. Who'd want to go to that? No. In fact...
I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their... I have few complaints.
Law, but it's miserable. My underarms are damp. How can I be expected to work in these conditions? Chief Tennyson is supposedly looking into the cause, but I've seen deplorable conduct. Oh, you've noticed my friends. They're here to keep the peace. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status, and so resents any board presence, no matter how benign. When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. They don't. A luxury stateroom, reserved for Chairman Rockwell. Oh, good law, of course not. As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room must be maintained for the chairman's exclusive use. Ask away.
Are you listening to me, Emfuru? You can't get me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene. I'm sorry. Am I... See, Emfuru? We could have avoided all this unpleasantness if... Let me get one thing straight. Jesse and I are... As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's a... Be my guest.
Something I can help you with? If only my other patients had so many inquiring after them. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. Requests of our patients. She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would falsify. Take care.
Can't say I've seen you before. I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. Or having... Did he now? The mouth on that man. I swear his late mother'd be ashamed. He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanic. Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes... Surgery, mostly. The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their people, Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only two... I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. You look out, though.
For information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. Good for you. Hope you scared some sense into those bureaucrats giving you trouble. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting. Ain't that always the way? So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
What? I did...
Parvati, is it?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships.
Junlei is fine.
Force of habit, I guess. Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering...
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati.
Right. Wow, great.
Not a problem. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard? Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Sorry, I forgot not... The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants. I have. One of my engineers, plus a small security detail. I can't afford to lose any Mardits on them. Mardits are descended from the original Marine detachment that crossed the void with Groundbreaker. I don't put their lives on the line if I can avoid it. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to...
This is Halcyon News.
You expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king. Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flame.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is too well ventilated.
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to be murdered by a psychopath who...
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out. Woo! Look at the courage on this one. Lay it on me, boss. Give me a taste of that fire.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even...
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back. We were just sitting in a circle, sucking down exhaust fumes and toasting to the memory of our brain cells. Making... You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court.
Look out!
Can you imagine being frozen for 10 years, sailing through space in a room such as this?
Their death, our survival.
Fantastic, we've got them. Now we can move on to cleaner pastures.
Smells kind of like old Wes's outflow pipes.
Branded when they joined McRed's crew?
All together!
Down they go! That's the last of them.
There was a third dot, but I don't know where the heck they are.
You've returned, and in one piece. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that.
I could... So...
Must be up top.
Incoming!
Go ahead and cycle the droplet pump. If you don't know what that means, cycle droplet Done. The temperatures are dropping. Stop by once you found your way out of there. Groundbreaker owes you thanks.
Keep thinking I gotta hold in the square button for everything, including just picking stuff up.
Halcyon News. We interrupt your...
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's gut. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got that could use...
You aiming to send a message? If so, we best do it now. Well, yeah. Of course, we're about to go dead, so... Our primary relay station's soon to be occluded by a gas giant. Happens every 40 years or thereabouts. The event's forecasted to last for months, during which we'll lose signal to the station.
That'll put the whole system in a right dire situation.
We've got backup auxiliary relays, but the one currently in orbital range went offline some months ago. Yeah, I'm working on it. I finally got the chief to approve the budget for a diagnostic expedition. But allocating the personnel loss for sending a technical team to the relay station keeps getting denied by Junlei. The chief. I should say no, but why not?
Hope you don't mind if I borrow that manual when you're done with it, Captain. I could do with some leisure
Oh, and I'll need you to retrieve a copy of the relay's backup data. The relay stations orbit the edge of the Halcyon system, so they tend to I'm sure the station... It's not like they're in high demand. Most tend to be adverts on new products, meaning only folks in Byzantium can afford them.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local foreign embassy. Rizzo's Purpleberry Punch. You want a punch? You got a punch right here.
Have either of the assault cruisers ever put into Groundbreaker?
Hey, you got a second? Hey, we don't know each other yet, but I'm Felix Millstone. I was in the middle of a little discussion with the local authority. I noticed your ship in port. Got to thinking you might be looking for some crew, so I wandered by. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fun... Yes, I absolutely am. Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. You're serious. You're giving me a shot. I put together a little speech. Just, hey there. I'm Felix Millstone. Yeah. It's a... Firstly, I am highly personable, and I get along well with anyone who is not of the jackass persuasion.
I'm sorry. He's funny.
I agree.
Secondly, I can be counted on in the event of a firefight, standoff, and/or raid. My motto is, if you need a steady gun hand. That motto is... Additionally, I have several years of experience as a box hauler. This skill may come in handy if you need a body dragged away or a door held. In conclusion,
I thought that was real.
Thanks for the vote. What do you think? Sure, an interview. It's delicious. Mock apple pie and a tripicale crust. you kidding? I love a good fight. One time, I took an autoloader's head clean off its servos with one swing of a tossball stick. You can count on me in a scrap box. Foreman told me my biggest problem was that I didn't take orders. I told him my problem is not with authority, it's with jackasses. So yeah. I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting. Exactly. I was only doing what any self-respecting Rangers fan would have done. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Wow. Thanks, boss. I'll just gather my personals and meet you on board.
You got a crew now, Felix.
I'll be right back. And back.
Huh? Oh, I am alert and awake. Not to worry. I take our ship's security highly seriously. Welcome back, Captain. How... Forgive me, Captain. I would rather not discuss Alex. Was there another... Captain Hawthorne attached 98.4% of the ship's processes to my computer, thereby giving me near total control. I have been programmed to deftly calculate navigation vectors through asteroid fields, while Alex also taught me the concept of a personality. He was quite delighted when I crafted one in order to better engage. The information in my memory banks says I am an autonomous digital astrogator, created by, redacted, On the date of, redacted, for the express purpose of, redacted. I have not yet decided if I should attempt to uncover the missing information. I asked once. Alex did not build me, and how can I? See you soon.
Good to see you, boss. Didn't I tell you? I'm secretly the chairman's orphan child, abandoned at birth in the back bay. That's right. Honestly, before you picked me up, I was living in the back bays. Spent my whole life up there, watching ships roll in and take off. I was what folks on the Groundbreaker call a stowaway. Means I was invisible. Life carried on for everybody else, but not for me. That's what they called us. Orphans with no family, no company to take us in, nowhere to go but the back bays. The word's a touch kindlier than rung leech, but the meaning's just as clear. If you can't support your own self, you don't deserve to be on... That's exactly what I've been saying. The system doesn't care about the individual. We're only as valuable as our jobs.
Yeah.
Hauling boxes was about the only work I could find. Hated every second of it. Could be I was overreacting. A better man might have turned the other cheek. Exercised a little bit of that, what's the word? Restraint?
Eh.
But on the other hand, broadsiding the jackass with a tossball stick, that felt good. That felt real good. You ought to try it.
Oh, I like him.
Oh, I can do civilized. Proper civilized, too. Genuflecting and everything. I caught a real lucky break. If you hadn't picked me up, I'd... Oh, yeah. I had a prison cell back on the Groundbreaker. Carved my name on the wall. I wonder if it's still there. Thanks for listening, boss. Let's get going.
Yeah, he is funny. I like him.
Hey, Captain. Can I get your temperature on something real quick? So, Junlei and I have been talking some. Through messages. She sent me a poem. I don't know if I should read into it. Because poems are all symbolic and such, right? It's not so good. But real sweet. Oh, law. That's what's got me spooked. It's about this engine that's been shaking itself apart. Then this lady mechanic comes by and lays one... I don't want to get too hopeful, but I'm wondering if maybe she's the engine. I don't know where it's leading yet, or I'm not much interested in physical stuff. Never have been. Leastways not like other folks seem to be. It's not that I can't. It's been a problem in the past. The folk who wanted to be with me back in the Vale, they didn't... When folks start implying you're a little different from an automechanical, you start to wonder. I guess I just needed to talk. I actually had another message from Junlei. I just couldn't work up the courage to open it. Let's see here. Talking about old friends. They were close, Captain. I don't know. Junlei talked about them like it was past, but how far in the past? Captain, I'm feeling all mixed up right now. Could we maybe...